The Queen City, Blumenthal Arts, and the Belk Theater bring us some amazing musicals, some of the best that have toured the country, and their current resident has taken up Charlotte by storm.
That is right. The Tony Award-winning hit Hamilton is now open through February the 2nd at the Belk Theater, and here on QC Life, we're giving you a behind-the-scenes look at the show throughout the month. Last week, I channeled my young, scrappy, and hungry voice as I got my shot with Tyler Fauntleroy, who plays Alexander Hamilton. Well, here in the lobby of the Belk Theater from Blumenthal Arts, you never know who you're going to bump into because shows come in week in and week out, month in and month out, and of course here in the Queen City, Hamilton is here, and look who I am with. Tyler Fauntleroy, who plays Alexander Hamilton, the lead role in this phenomenal Tony Award-winning musical. Every actor has their spin on it. Every actor is, yes, married to what Lin-Manuel put together and what this musical has shown all around the country. But how do you, Tyler, put your specific spin on this great role?
The beautiful thing about being in a show that has been running this long, that has had so many iterations, is that I've never heard from my bosses to be somebody else. I'm not asked to be anything but real. There's so much about these characters that we can all identify with, you know, and I think even just picking on like moments from my own life where I've experienced loss, you know, I've fallen in love, you know, I've gotten too consumed in work or whatever it is, you know, there's something that, you know, even with a character like Hamilton, it's surprising that you might not have to reach that far for those things to bring him to life.
How special was that for you to be involved with a project that not only represented the Black and brown community, but really was a light to young boys and young girls everywhere that could touch into it? It's
a beautiful thing to get to be that for, you know, the next generation of performers. I think, you know, I remember for me, Lynn's work was such an instrumental part of me being in musical theater, you know, and as well as a musical like Rent, because it was Rent that I heard first and saw, you know, people that looked like me, you know, telling that story. And also, I didn't know musicals could sound like that.
Right.
You know, then I fall in love with In the Heights, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is music and a language that I know musically that I'm not used to hearing on Broadway. Okay, there's a world here that you know, is blossoming for people who, like I said, grew up listening to hip-hop, R&B, those kinds of things, and who are, you know, Black and brown, you know, and I know for myself, being a young Black boy, learning to love musical theater, I didn't always see stories and characters that felt like I would be embraced by. It's the dream knowing that, you know, we're changing lives in that way, where that experience that I had and so many others had, you know, we're now giving that. I don't think it always sets in sometimes until you get like a message or someone reaches out to say like, hey, like, I think I can do this because I saw you do it.
That's right.
You know, and that's always humbling. It always is the gas in the tank to keep going. I was a kid that was scared of my own shadow. I did a lot of singing in church, begrudgingly. You know, I would get opportunities for, you know, singing a solo in the choir. I would say no, and then I'd be up there on Sunday like, I think I could have sung that song. I could have, you know. And I started to notice, oh, I'm missing out on experiences, on things, on, you know, even on leadership opportunities, whatever it was, because I was afraid.
What's it like for the folks in the 757, the family that has seen this young, shy boy now be the star of Hamilton?
There's just so much celebration in this season of life, but my grandma is always just like, sometimes she'll see the show, because she's seen it a few times now.
Sure.
And she's like, boy, I still can't believe this is what you chose to do.
Yeah, you're getting to experience Charlotte. The Queen City has so much to offer. What are you looking forward to most outside of performing?
Yeah, I've never been to Charlotte before. I only hear great things about it. I mean, even the audiences are amazing. You know, I can't wait to get the good recommendations of just, you know, places to eat, you know, fun things to experience. So yeah, I'm all ears for those recs.
For the young boy or young girl that gets to experience this show and gets to see themselves through you, what do you have for them as a message?
Yeah, I think there's a place for you here. There's a place for you in this art form. And if you see that there's not a place for people quite like you even still, maybe you're the one to make that place.